Hello, Jeff. It's great to have you here on the show with our two Amazon Echoes joining us. Alexa, what time is it? Hold it. There we go. It does help if I turn it on. Alexa, what time is it?
I wasn't able to understand the question I heard.
It's because I turned you off. Alexa, what time is it? That's pretty interesting. Challenge.
That happens every time I have people over. I'm always like, look at how cool this thing is. And then
I know, and then it doesn't work. Yeah. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:06.
There
You know, I've never gotten that close. I probably was distorted. It was so close.
I don't know.
So what we want to talk about is the Amazon Echo, the idea of we're moving into a world where there's more gizmos in our home and automation. And I asked Jeff, and I are one of the moderators of the How to Use the Amazon Echo community on Google Plus. And Jeff, you have a blog kind of talking about your journey of modernizing your home. So over to you, and what got you into this?
Yeah, I mean, so in general, so my blog is jeffsfuturehome.com. You can also follow me at jeffsfuturehome. The only thing that I really wanted to do was, take my house, which is completely not connected, and I just got it probably 3 months ago, so it's like kind of new and fun for me. And when I got it, within the first month, that's when I received my Amazon Echo, and my Echo is really what kind of kicked off my interest into home automation. Just because I know that it has the ability to connect to other devices, which is fun, and playing with the Amazon Echo was fun for me to begin with. So kind of jumping right into it, I got the Nest, I got the Nest Protect, I got drop cams, I got this MyQ Chamberlain garage door opener. I just have a bunch of different toys now. Which is fun, but it all kind of started with the Amazon Echo, and I also kind of always try to connect things to Amazon Echo as much as possible, but we're kind of still in the early stages, so it's kind of still growing there. But yeah, I mean, with me with my Amazon Echo, it's been really fun just finding different uses for it, just from a broad perspective. Like me actually, so specifically, I had a baby, or my wife had a baby, like a month ago. It was our first, and it's crazy, such a whirlwind. And we kind of realized that there's so many times where we're holding the baby, and I don't want to pull out my phone. I don't want to press a button. I don't want to do anything with anything else because my hands are full. And so the Echo makes it so much easier to play music, find out what time it is. Do I have anything on my schedule? Can you read Game of Thrones, from Audible, whatever it is, you can do all of these things without lifting a finger. And I think what Echo does for, I think, the technology space in general is it kind of skips a step in the next, in the kind of regular progression of evolution. So right now we have our iPhones. We, go through kind of anything we can with our iPhones. And now all of our houses are becoming more and more connected, which is cool. And you'll find, like, I think 100 different companies trying to be that number one kind of pull everything together. I'm going to be your main hub for controlling your home. You have Insteon and Lutron and even Chamberlain. I know that Apple's coming out with HomeKit in the fall. You just have a million different, I think Powerhouse is the pre-HomeKit. And so everybody's trying to be that physical interface that you can kind of connect with your phone. But what Amazon Echo does is it says, this physical interface, I don't think that's the future. I think the future is having your voice be the, kind of connect to this device who the interface is really that computer behind it. And now you can do so many more things when you don't have to. I know this sounds so like first world problems, but you don't have to pull out your phone, open up an application, press a button. Now you can just say these things, and it becomes so much more easy and automated, which is just fun, pretty much. Anyway.
Well said. Well said. And And I have mine using Alexa, which is a standard voice activated, and you have yours using Echo, right?
Or
I'm
Amazon.
sorry, Amazon.
There you go. Yeah. So now if I say Amazon, what time is it?
The time is 6:10.
Oh, there you go. I got yours. Amazon, what time is it?
It's 3:10.
It's 3:10 over here. So
I
yeah,
cheated and I pressed the button when you said it. You can manually activate it. So, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:11.
Alexa, what is the weather forecast?
In Raleigh, it's 75 degrees with showers. Tonight, you can look for some clouds with a
Alexa,
chance of
stop.
thunder.
You know,
super,
you super easy, you know, and of course, and I want to. The big thing I want to say is for example, Alexa, what's on my calendar tomorrow?
Tomorrow, there are 4 events. At 8 a.m.,
Alexa,
there's Hangout on.
pause. So that's just terrific. I mean, I think all of us got it, knowing it's in the first stages, and we aren't expecting a full, what are they called, hard AI system.
Mhm.
But it has some fun stuff. It has, to me, if you look at the Siri, which has like a built-in sense of personality. And then you look at Google in the virtual assistant, which is voice, which is literally no personality and just the data. This is somewhere in between in personalizing it. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that like I said before, how we're kind of skipping a step here. So all those other companies that are creating this physical interface, alternatively Amazon Echo, I don't know if this was intentional, but they're just kind of blazing the trail on creating this interface that's around you in a sense. And so you have that same thing with Siri, I guess, but you still have to press those buttons and whatever. And I think what Echo is really doing is it's telling companies like Apple, like Google, like Microsoft, and they're all kind of working on their own version of Alexa. Microsoft has
Here's your flash briefing.
Alexa, pause. There we go. I'll mute it. You can hit the mute. You see how it's red like that, and then it won't listen. So it will, as we talk. Go ahead.
So Microsoft is coming out with Cortana. So it's kind of the same deal where they're trying to create this kind of AI interface for you to just communicate with. Sort of like what's that movie? The Iron Man, what's his interface called?
Oh gosh, yes. I just drew a blank on it. I know what you mean. Everyone wants one of those.
Right, exactly. But we're really on the cusp of that, and so I think that everyone's really excited for Apple to come out with HomeKit, in the fall. But I have a feeling that HomeKit isn't going to be what people expect. I think people are expecting that it's going to be an app on your phone that really allows you to control all your devices in your house or whatever, and probably do more. And it'll use the Siri AI kind of intelligence. But I have a feeling that it's going to be more like Amazon or Alexa in that. Hold on, let me mute it. Amazon off. So I think that it's going to be more like that, more like Cortana, more like the Google Assistant, where it tries to kind of involve itself in your life. And I think the main bottleneck of that is the wake word. It's always listening. It's always ready to respond to you no matter what you're doing. If you're carrying groceries in, if you're cooking, if you're doing jumping jacks, it doesn't really matter. It's just ready to kind of serve you whenever. Whereas right now, what I think people are expecting is an app where you have to open it and you have to push buttons to tell it what to do. So I think that that's going to be a little bit different. And so once these things become more involved in your day-to-day life, that's when they become more built around you, I think. I think one of the other things is that it's starting to, maybe this is in my head, but I think it's starting to guess what I like, what types of music I like. When I pull my Pandora stations, when I have specific music that I listen to on Amazon, it's starting to learn that stuff. I can also do training exercises with Amazon or with Alexa, where it starts to learn my voice a little bit better. And then the funniest thing happened the other day was I think that my baby was crying while I was giving a command to Amazon or Alexa, and I thought that because when I started talking, the baby started crying like right in the middle, that it wouldn't hear my voice completely, but instead it heard my voice in the beginning and it locked onto it, heard my whole command, and then responded immediately, which was really, really cool.
It also seems to be able to almost a multitask where you can give it something and then interrupt it. And that's, to me, quite impressive.
Yeah,
Even though there'll be, like in the beginning, once or twice where you don't enunciate or don't give it time to respond, it's pretty fluid. There isn't a big, you say, I say, Alexa, how are you doing?
I'm answering questions and learning more.
There we go. So it's really working towards more of a natural conversation than me having to modify myself to do it,
Right.
to work with interface, and that's the way it needs to go. And I really want to take a minute, just put hats off to the Amazon team working on this, because I'm a Gizmo, want to be the first. And I've been so impressed with how they rolled this out at a pre-released reduced price by clearly people who would be into it. Instead of saying it's the beta tester, it's we're giving you half price off. Here it is. Who wants to be part of it? And you and I know, Jeff, we race to it because we know it's the new generation.
Right.
Then they didn't even turn on the ability to do reviews until they got feedback from us, because, of course, everybody's brother is going to have an opinion, and usually it's going to be negative before they ever experience it. It's human nature. I have an opinion of something I've never done. Well, then why are you talking? You've never done it. So marketing perspective, they rolled out the opinion survey, so they weren't available, but they were only available those that began. Then they launched it, and then they found a way to reduce the initial price a bit. They chose to take the remote out of it, which to me makes sense because they probably looked, it wasn't used as much and they could bring that price down. And they're listening. I mean, you send suggestions in. We did in the Google Plus community we have, we put in, I got a big list of people to vote on suggestions, submit it. And they, an engineer responded back and go, wow, this, and this we hadn't thought of. That's really interesting. Thank you. I mean, that's responsive. What if all the companies did that,
I think that's.
I'm sorry. I just haven't seen that type of listening in the new product line like this.
I think that a lot of people in the beginning of the kind of internet phase, when Amazon first started selling kind of regular products, everyone was like, "Oh, this is the end of brick and mortar stores. Like they've disrupted the whole market, yada yada." But nobody really talks about how they disrupted the market from a customer service standpoint. Now for any kind of purchases, even if it's more expensive somewhere else, I prefer to shop on Amazon because I'm an Amazon Prime member. And if I ever have any issues, they are the best customer service. I literally had, this is a funny off story, but it was my wife's birthday. I got her this kind of elliptical off of Amazon. It was like $150. And I was like, you know what? This is like a gamble because it's so cheap. Worst case scenario, I could just throw it out if I didn't really like it. And I ordered it and I opened it up and I see the package and it looks like this, just a really intricate puzzle that it would take me like, forever to put this thing together. And I was like, whoa, this is totally not what I expected. Especially not like reading the reviews and all that stuff. It took me not, 3.5 clicks for them to say, okay, yeah, you can refund it. We're going to send UPS there tomorrow, free of charge, to pick it up for you, and we're going to send it back to the warehouse or whatever. And then within 2-3 days, you're going to have your money back on your credit card. And it's like, if I had that with Target or with any other kind of big retailer, I would probably have to have much more of a battle to return that thing, or I wouldn't be able to return it altogether, and then I would be dissatisfied with the product. And really, I'm getting this kind of confidence in purchasing products, just from working with Amazon or buying from Amazon. And of the things in life that are just totally worth it, like, you know, an In-N-Out burger or $9.99 for Netflix, Amazon Prime, you know, $100 a year is the most worth it thing ever.
So to get to excellent, and so again, hats off to the engineers that did this, and also attempting to give it as a real feel as possible. I have to tell you, when I first brought it in, I put it in the bedroom. My wife saw it and said, "I want to move into a log cabin." About 3 or 4 weeks later, I actually leaving the house, and I said, "What did you say, honey?" And she said, "I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Alexa." She was already dialoguing, and now I've got her radio station on, so we'll stream and so we can have it in the kitchen, and she can listen to the things she wants or the radio she wants better than broadcasts we can pick up with rabbit ears or antenna, and they're literally just about 45 minutes away, the tower, but we get a better signal through this system. Music interface and other things. So it is, but yeah, Jeff, you know, I have a hard time describing, what do you call this? I mean, to me, everyone's racing to be our best digital assistant, home integration person. I mean, I wrote an article on it, and I'll put it below, but that seems to be the race. We're all the customer probe with the Apple Siri that they want to interface with their devices, and now they're all racing to get it. But how do you describe this? It's almost a new entity in its own. I mean, it's solidly made. It's like a monaural speaker that, to me, I don't notice it's not stereo because it's more than good enough for what I want in this area. And then it's connected to a cloud-based computer system. So what do you call this?
I think with everyone, they have their own name for it, because I don't think it's a really defined product yet. I would call it a home automation hub. However, somebody else would call it like a Bluetooth speaker that has, that connects to the internet. Which is, cool. One of the things that I was going to mention about Amazon when they launched this product that I think is really cool, and to touch on what you said about kind of coming to the guys who would be interested in it first, there's a book called Tribes by this marketing guru, Seth Godin. And so he basically, I think they textbook did exactly what he says in that book, which is they first and foremost developed a tribe around Amazon Echo, not only to define what it is, but to create this buzz about it and to really launch the product to scale. And I know that in the beginning, it was really just, a few thousand of us using the Echo, but now if you look at the reviews on Amazon Echo, there's over 20,000 reviews. I can't even imagine how many have been sold yet. And it's only been like really a month or two that it's been available to the public, which is just awesome. So I think that over time you'll have more uses for Amazon Echo, and it'll become more of a defined thing that just doesn't exist right now. It's almost like saying, in 2002, what do you call this iPhone? Is it like a phone, or is it like a personal kind of computer? And then, now we're at this stage where we call them smartphones, but it's really it was iPhone or Apple like blazing the trail on that product, and we have the same thing happening here with Amazon, in my opinion.
And then, Jeff, with the Google I/O, the Internet of Things, and their product and development, I think it's Project Brillo, it's called. So everyone's racing for it, but it really shows us how the market wants it, a certain level. Now, there's a certain level of market that goes, okay, that's a little creepy to me, but there's definitely more of us that go, no, I want to dialogue with it. Why do I have to lift something? Why do I have to push a button? Why do I have to shake my wrist in a certain way? Just turn on the lights. We got one of the simple light adapter for a light in the bedroom that's, it's one of those little lights you tend to turn on, and it's nice on the table, and then you kind of get up, turn it off to go to bed, a little extra light. And I put it on it. It's just fun because you just say, Alexa, turn off the light, the bed lamp. And
I don't know if you saw that video, but I can tell it to turn on my light. Amazon, turn on light.
Okay.
Pretty rad, right?
Yeah. Excellent. So the other thing I want to talk about briefly here is I really wanted to introduce this and get questions from people, but also the community. Thank you for being one of the moderators of it. You were starting before we offline. I did choose. I saw there was something else. I thought what would be different and complement it, and so I named it. How to use the Amazon Echo. And I want it to be that as a niche. How do we use this and apply it? So. Over to you.
So yeah, I think that because it's such a new product and nobody really knows what it does completely, you're going to have more people searching for how to use Amazon Echo versus just Amazon Echo. So I think that that's what kind of appealed me to your group. Plus the level of activity is a little bit more centered around kind of playing with it rather than just reading a Wikipedia entry to what Amazon Echo is. So that kind of appealed to me about the group. I think more and more people are starting to post relevant stuff about Amazon Echo. I think somebody posted recently, like, what's it made of? And that's kind of interesting for me to know, because once you know what's in the guts, then kind of where it's going to go in a sense. I'm not a developer, but I definitely am plugged into all that stuff, and I know that that Amazon recently, when they launched Echo to the public, they launched also their SDK, so like their software development kits, so the real developers can actually develop apps against it. Plus they committed to like $100 million or something like that just in development of this. So I think in the beginning stages, number one, they found like it's a winner. Like let's kind of run with this one. And number two, I think that we kind of got to the point where now other people are going to be developing apps against it, where we're going to find everyday uses for it, which is going to be really fun. And I'm the most excited about when they do kind of a reverse for the IFTTT integration. Right now, if you tell it to do a certain thing, through IFTTT, you can kind of create all of these rules for Amazon Echo to kind of do things, but you can't tell Amazon Echo kind of the reverse way, or vice versa. I might have mixed that up. Anyway, so once that happens, and it will, now that they're kind of more open to development, then it becomes kind of limitless, I think. I feel like a year from now, once it's kind of thoroughly specced out, you're going to have people jumping onto the group asking like, hey, I saw that you guys can, turn on your TV with Echo. Like, how'd you do that? Like, boom, in a second, people are going to be able to learn how to do that. I'm going to try to post, as many YouTube videos as possible so that people can see, the everyday uses of it. I posted one, I think a month ago, where it's really just Amazon Echo for mommies, like new mommies that are nursing.
Yeah, that was great.
My wife had the same kind of reaction that yours did, where she was a little bit spooked out by it, but now she loves having the Echo in the nursery because she goes there and she kind of feeds her in the morning and things like that, and she likes to play lullabies. She likes to play piano music or something like that, and it becomes so easy because she doesn't have to press a button. She doesn't have to pull out her phone or anything like that. So I really appreciate that about the group, is that kind of it creates this like hub for us to figure out more and more uses for Echo. As it's happening, like it's kind of wildfire right now. That like every other day there's a new thing that you can do with it.
Yeah, and that my mission was to make it the most useful conversation about Amazon Echo on the internet. That's the goal. So, and I can't do it alone. Thanks to you, we have another moderator that's building up, getting involved in it. But that's why I set up the categories, the resources pages. We'll have a link below. But also, Jeff, I want to put a link below your great blog, and we'll have the YouTube channel as well, so they can see. I love you're building the home and sharing it as you're going, and that's what got me to want to do the hangout with you. I said, you're my expert on this, and you said, I'm not an expert yet. I go, yeah, but you got the guts to say I'm figuring this out. And then if something doesn't work, you'll probably write a blog about that too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's kind of my point, is that I kind of felt that more people would be interested in reading about how a regular guy, a non-developer, would kind of do these things, as opposed to somebody who's a complete expert. And maybe there are things that an everyday person wouldn't understand. And so hopefully I feel like I kind of will take the approach of the everyday man, and hopefully be able to kind of post more about Echo and more about other fun stuff around my house.
What do you think? Where should people start with this? I mean, and to me, I think if you can afford one of these, I'd say go for it and have some fun with it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the Echo, for what it is, super cheap. I mean, it's like $180 right now. I got it at the reduced rate. I think you did too, of $99. Again, it's so worth it. Just because it's cool right now, and it's less about just being a product, because it has that kind of brain that exists in a cloud, they say. It's constantly being developed and constantly being updated, and the functionality for it is growing so fast. So it's not just a regular everyday product where you buy it and this is what you get. It's like an investment. I know it sounds crazy, but it is. It's becoming my kind of personal hub for my smart home. And you're going to find a million other ways to use it. I think in the beginning, when I started reading about like home automation and different fun things, everybody was gravitating towards the Nest API. And that was like the craziest thing. Like, Nest, the home thermostat, has the ability to connect with other devices. That's crazy. And so there was like a million products figuring out ways to connect with the Nest. The Fitbit, Mercedes was doing it. I think Samsung even came out with some stuff, and obviously Dropcam, which they eventually bought. But everybody was thinking, or at least I was thinking, that everything was going to revolve around the Nest API, not because Nest was such an amazing product, but because it had an open API where other people can develop against it. And I think that they're quickly being trumped by Amazon. I mean, Google is kind of missing an opportunity here by not launching their own type of thing. But you got to give credit. And again, I don't think this was the main purpose of Amazon Echo, but it's kind of stealing up the market share for being that hub that everybody wants to develop against. And once you have that, and people are kind of integrated with you, it raises these kind of barriers to entry into the market. And then by the time fall comes around and HomeKit launches, and then Google launches theirs, and Microsoft launches Cortana, I feel like Amazon's already going to have such a good hold on the market that it's going to be difficult for them to even get into it. So I mean, again, if to go back to your original question of where I would start with it, first of all, buy it. Second of all, find ways to use it, like your music. If you don't use Google Calendar, find other ways of using it. Be open to Amazon's email blasts, because they constantly send out an email maybe once a week that says, hey, here are all the new features that you can do. And then I would get into groups like this so that you're constantly updated on what's going on. Because again, a year from now, you're going to be like, wow, I spent $180 on it, but this is what I got out of it. I know that personally, last thing I'm going to say about that, I think I have like 5 different Bluetooth speakers. And since I got Echo, I don't think I've used any of them. So, I imagine I spent probably $50 to $100 on each one of those Bluetooth speakers. I don't need any of them because I have Echo, which is, I just think, really, really cool.
Jeff, why don't we end with anything you want to ask your Amazon Echo to demonstrate something? Obviously, we won't play music because then it would be blocked on YouTube or start it. But anything you want to demonstrate of it that's kind of neat?
I was asking a lot of questions during the NBA Finals. Now I'm not really into any of the sports that are going on right now, but I'll try to. Let's see if we can find out when the football season starts. Is that a good idea?
Sounds good.
Amazon, when does the football season start?
I wasn't able to understand the question I heard.
Well,
Eli never fails. You realize I've done 2 videos, and I probably maybe 100 times, and then you get on video and something goes off. That's hilarious.
But I will say that what I think is really cool is that it doesn't have the functionality right now to do things like turn on my TV. However, I know that it will, because Amazon, turn on my TV.
Sorry, I couldn't find a device or group named TV in Jeff's profile.
Like it's ready though. Like
Right.
once I do have something connected to it, it's gonna know what to do, which is fun.
Amazon. Now I'm saying my Alexa, are you alive? Oh, that was too much for it.
Yeah.
Amazon. Alexa, are you living?
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
What can you do?
Yeah. Alexa, are you artificial intelligence?
All I know is that I'm here to help.
Right. So that's a fun. Alexa, what's the purpose of life?
42.
It's got a lot of little. Alexa, close the bay doors. Alexa, close the bay doors.
I'm not sure what you meant by that question.
It had it before. It has a few good Easter eggs too, doesn't it? So
There
we'll
were
let.
some fun ones during the season finale of Game of Thrones. It came out like when is winter coming or things like that, where you wouldn't expect it to have functionality for Game of Thrones, but it did, which was funny.
Yeah, this is great. Well, Jeff, thanks for this hangout. We'll put the resources we're going to put your blog below, the community below. We'll put my article related to it, and we'll find other excuses to hang out together and talk about it. But this is great. And I'm actually going to the shopping grocery store with a shopping list my wife made with Amazon Echo throughout the week. So it's on my phone already. I'm giving her. I'm letting the to-do be her to-do list because she's more home than I am, so she can say put on the to-do list and put it on mine. So we'll keep sharing how we have fun with it and update it.
Yeah, it's been good. Thanks a lot for having me.
Absolutely, great. Take care, everybody. We'll talk soon.
All right, see ya.